game that was played here. They'll try and do it again next. The Orioles on Masson, and to Canada the Birds have flown, and here at the Rogers Center they'll open up this road trip against the Blue Jays tonight in the first of 3. For the Orioles since June 1st, 61 home runs. No team in the major leagues has hit more. They go up against a team tonight that has the major league leader in home runs, Jose Bautista. Maybe we'll have some homers in this game. What do you think? Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. What it all means is the pitchers had better beware. For the Orioles, over the last 5 games, there have been some quality starts. Take a look at the numbers for Jake Arrieta in his start. A good solid 7 innings. For Simone, 6 2/3, only 2 earned runs. For Bergeson, a solid 6, couple of runs, not a lot of walks. For Guthrie, 1-1 during that stand, 7 innings in the last one. 4-1 in the walk to strikeout ratio. There have been 5 straight quality starts. The Orioles, though, have not had the offense to go with those numbers. Here's what it looks like to begin this road trip, and a need for pitching. In Toronto, Arrieta, Simone, and Bergeson. Then in New York with a doubleheader on Saturday. It looks like Chris Tillman will be called up. Zach Britton will have the second game, and then you'll have Guthrie and Arrieta on Friday and Sunday. The problem, Mike Flanagan, for the Orioles continues to be who's going to start.
Who's going to start and when they're going to start and how long they're going to start. But you're right. It's been a good turn through that rotation. It hasn't always resulted in a win, but much less stress on the bullpen. They haven't scored enough runs. Rotation going forward, very iffy. Talking to Buck Showalter today. Not even sure how they want to play out Saturday. Maybe have Britton start game 2, and whoever starts game 1, someone they can opt out and have a bullpen arm ready for game 2. So all kinds of contingency plans going on.
And Michael Gonzalez will begin serving his 3-game suspension for the Boston affair starting in this game. How about Jake Arrieta, who's going to be making the start for the Orioles? This is just looking for the 10th win, and it's been hard to come by.
It's been a long time coming for Jake Arrieta, and certainly he's made some adjustments along the way to his delivery. And with this, you see the breaking ball, much better location early on. Career versus Toronto, outstanding. Second best of any opponent that Arrieta has faced along the way. So he's a little bit more of a comfort factor. And it's important, too, with the Orioles going through this section of the schedule where they're playing within the division.
And, boy, when you take a look at those division numbers, they are bad. I mean, that is very tough for the Orioles. You look at the run differential of -58.
Yeah, that is not good. And again, the record 11 and 24th in the division. If you're going to make up any ground, you've got to play well in your division. Tampa's played extremely well in the division. The Red Sox have played great.
All right, all of the teams except the Orioles, in fact, are 500 in the Eastern Division. When we come back, a man by the name of Jim Johnson, who is a reliever. Is he going to become a starter? We'll ask him about it. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Beautiful day here in Toronto. A bit of a feeling of late summer as it cooled down considerably. Had a chance before the game to talk to Jim Johnson. He has been one of the outstanding relievers, not only for the Orioles this season, but in the American League. You see the numbers he has put up in his career. A starter, only 1 major league start. Well, he had 85 of those in the minors. The talk is he's definitely going to get some starts before this season is over. Is he anxious about doing that? Well, he talked about it today.
I'm going to step in and hopefully help out as best I can and, give us an idea of what we're doing next year as well. Unfortunately, I wish it was on better terms, but, we'll see how things progress. We're kind of going into it with an open mind, and I think you have to because it's kind of uncharted waters right now.
But he is going to start a couple of games.
Oh, absolutely. And he certainly would like to have a chance to an opportunity to start. It's what he's always been trained to do. It is, to me, the dream job in all of Major League Baseball is to be a starting pitcher. He has the stuff to do the multiple pitch assortment that he possesses, also translate well to being a starting pitcher. So I look forward to it. I think he does.
Yeah, I think he does too. And it looks like it will come at least certainly in the final month, if not before that. But for tonight, Jake Arrieta, there he is making his way in with Matt Wieters as the Jays take the field for this opener of the 3-game set, and Arrieta trying to reach that 10-win mark for the 5th time. He has 3 losses and a no decision since win number 9.
Well, for Jake Arrieta, it's been an adjustment. Look back on April 4th. Hands do not go over set. Much simpler and more compact delivery. More strain on the arm. And you'll see now going ahead to July 20th. Hands go way over the top of head. Bigger delivery. Generates more power. Your body takes more of the stress. And that's the adjustment. Some of a fine adjustment for Jake Arrieta, but overall a pretty major one. And it seems to be helping his control.
Certainly looks good. It looks like he's got a real good balance in the delivery when he's in that windup.
Yeah, a lot more balance, a lot more energy. And again, I think it's much more easier on that arm. I know he's had the concerns about that elbow and that spur. It's been a big talk around the ball club, but that should relieve some of that pressure.
All right, let's take a look at our game time temperature. The roof is open here. Brought to you by Trane. Visit Trane.com for an independent Trane comfort specialist dealer near you. Hard to stop a Trane. A beautiful 77 degrees to start this with the humidity at 47%, partly cloudy up there through the roof. And let's take a look at the lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines for the Orioles. Hardy, Markakis, and Jones, Guerrero, Wieters, and Lee, Reynolds, Reimold, and Andino. Vladdy is back. He's off the DL. Returns put on the roster just prior to the game. Last game, July, number 10.
Scouting report on Brandon Morrow. Moreau of the story, almost 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's the best in the major leagues over the last 2 seasons. And 6-pack, he's 5-0 in his last 7 starts. Would like to go to 6-0. And Canada is a lot of luck in the States, 4-0 with a 2.88. But here in Canada, 3-4 with a 5.75 ERA. But make no mistake about it, outstanding power arm. 18th start, 7-4 record. ERA a little over 4 1/4. Look at the innings pitched to inning, just 89 hits allowed and more strikeouts than innings at 117 and just 101 2/3.
Those are darn good numbers, and Morrow's ready to go, and so is J.J. Hardy, and we're underway. Then the pitch is a strike on the inside corner. J.J. Hardy coming in with a big season so far against the Jays. He's hit .400 against them with a couple of home runs and 5 RBIs against Toronto pitching. The Orioles have won only 2 and lost 4 against the Jays on the season. And for Morrow, the first time he has faced the Orioles this year, comes in with a 2-0 mark lifetime. Hardy will foul that one back, and the 1-ball 2-strike count. For JJ, he continues to have an incredible season. There are the numbers he has put up against Toronto, and he likes hitting in this ballpark. So the Orioles hope their leadoff batter will continue with those kind of numbers as they look to put a win up here on the road to start this long road trip. Pitch will be taken outside. 2-ball 2-strike count on Hardy. JJ to be followed by Markakis and then Jones. Orioles coming in having lost their last 7 road games, and they've hit only .233 during that stretch, and they have given up almost 9.5 runs a ball game to opponents during those 7 games. So the road has not been particularly friendly to the Orioles this season and of late. 2-2 delivery, breaking ball, and that's going to miss down low. 3-2.
Yeah, look at the road. 0-7, batting average 233. Runners in scoring position not very good. 224 runs per game below 3.5. None of those numbers translate to success.
Towering pop-up that's going to end up back in foul territory and over into the seats.
But it has been a tough journey on the road. 14-30 overall for the Orioles, and that's the Blue Jays have been just the opposite. They've played great ball on the road where they're 27-27, just 24-24 here in Toronto.
For Buck Showalter's team, it's another year where the road has not given them wins. That ball put high in the air to left center field. Snyder, the center fielder, is over and under it, and he's got it. Hardy is retired.
Let's take a look at our Nissan starting defensive lineup tonight. Corey Patterson will be in left. Snyder in center. Things will be in right. Batista, Escobar, Aaron Hill around at second base. Lind at first, and Jose Molina behind the plate catching Brandon Morrow.
And that'll bring up Nick Markakis. Nick has continued the hot spell, which is now extended. 11th to 38 during the recent homestand for him, and at the 291 mark on the year, and he will foul Morrow's pitch back. He has touched up Morrow at a 4 for 8 clip in the times against him, and a real good number on the road.
He has the best numbers against Morrow in the lineup.
Brandon Morrow, it's his birthday, making a start on his 27th birthday. 0-1 delivery is going to be swung on and missed, and the count will go to 0-2. So Morrow will look to give himself a birthday gift here in the ball game. It's amazing how many pitchers get to starters pitch on their birthday.
on the day, yeah.
Year after year. I mean, what are your chances?
Happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Birthday's December 16th.
But you'd celebrate.
There was nobody else at the ballpark that day, but
you won.
I never lost
you
on my birthday.
You never lost on your birthday.
I got a no decision one time, but never lost.
Frostbite another. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Nick Markakis. Morrow's delivery to him, and that'll be swung on a miss.
This thing about Morrow, we talk about his strikeouts. He has many more strikeouts against left-handed hitters than right. Very unusual. Right straight on top of that slider. I think Buck Showalter was noting before the game the number of left-handed hitters Morrow has struck out.
And you can see with the movement on that pitch, away from the left-hander, that's tough to get to.
And right on top of it.
Yep. Here is Adam Jones. Adam coming in with another really solid month getting under his belt. Swung on and missed. He could not catch up to that fastball. Boy, Morrow just blew that one by him.
Yeah, you can see the stuff that Morrow possesses. It came up as a reliever. Just to finish off that thought, Morrow has struck out 74 of 229 left-handed hitters.
Foul bag. Adam behind on the count, 0-2. Tale of 2 Joneses. At home, really outstanding numbers. On the road, not a bad average, but the home runs dip, the extra base hits way down, and the runs way down. The road has not been kind to Adam either. Now, which came first? The unkindness to Adam and the unkindness to the Orioles. Maybe a chicken and egg question, but both have struggled on the road. 0-2 pitch, and that'll be down low in the dirt, 1-2.
Or is it an exceptional year at home and an unexceptional year on the road, and it averages out to be a pretty good year, what it is for Adam Jones.
Sitting 289 in the month of July, 3 points higher than his overall average right now. 5 home runs. Orioles have been led by Mark Reynolds, 6 homers in July, and then Adam Jones with 5. Against Morrow, he is 2 for 10. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and he's gone. Tag put on by Molina. Morrow gets a couple of strikeouts and retires the side in order. Jake Arrieta after win number 10 when we come back. Escobar, Timms, and Bautista. Lind, Encarnacion, Snyder, Hill, Patterson, and Molina. Adam Lind against the Orioles. Mercy.
Take a look at the scouting report on Jake Arrieta. A season high. Last time out, season high, 111 pitches and 7 innings of work. Did not walk a batter. And handled the bat. That's for Jose Bautista. Lifetime against Arrieta. He's 0 for 7. And also the Orioles have done a good job. He's just 3 for 19 without a homer this year. And homer unhappy. He has allowed 19 homers. That's the second most in the American League, and he's also allowed 2 home runs in each of his last 3 starts. We'd like to get away from that home run column.
So Arrieta is ready to go. Escobar, Eric Timms, and Jose Bautista will be coming up against him. For Escobar, he's on a tear. He has hit the Orioles real hard, 333 with 2 home runs this year, and he's 4 for 9 with a home run against Arrieta. So he'll probably strike out here. The pitch is taken away. We're ball outside.
Yeah, he's one of those hitters you got to circle in the lineup that he is hot.
Escobar coming in after a 5 for 11 on the road trip. He is 5th in the American League, hitting .346 for his average. And he leads all major league shortstop in walks picked up. So he's got an eye to go along with the numbers he's putting up.
Yeah, he's really having a terrific year, hitting over 305, 9 home runs. Again, one of those hitters you would circle as hot. And there's 3 or 4 in this lineup tonight. They're going to be a real problem for Arrieta.
And he falls behind on the leadoff batter, 3-0. Now, Arrieta went through the last game without giving up a walk, his first walk-free start of the season. Even though he would lose the game to Boston, he gave up 3 runs, 9 hits over 7 innings. 3-0 delivery on the way, taken, and that is a strike called at the knees. So while Arrieta's been able to get the walks down a bit, which he was working on, the home runs, as Mike mentioned, have jumped up on him. You see the loss to the Red Sox. Not a bad outing, though. 3-1 pitch on the way, and he gets the ground ball and under the glove of Hardy for a base hit. So Escobar is on with a leadoff single.
Take a look at our Nissan defense starting lineup tonight. Raimo will be in left, Jones in center, Markakis will man right field, Reynolds and Hardy on the left side, and Dino, Lee, and Wieters behind the plate catching Arrieta. It's Nissan's bottom line sales event, and we're laying it all on the line. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer today.
And Eric Thames coming up. He has spent some time at the minor leagues this season. Good story on him in the paper this morning as he's made his return, and so far successfully getting the start in right field, moving Jose Bautista, who had the ankle injury, over to third base. It's only his 3rd professional season. He is 24 years old, out of San Jose, California. Played some college ball in California. 1-0 delivery. And Arrieta not liking this start. He fell behind 3-0 in the leadoff batter, and now on Thames he's behind 2-0.
And so far a pretty small strike zone on the breaking ball from Gary Darling. They got a pretty good pitch there. So again, you're trying to find out where that strike zone is while you go through this very hot top of the Blue Jay lineup.
Here's the 2-0 delivery to him, had him swinging, and the count will go to 2-1.
He's already having to work hard here in the first inning. Let's take a look at the 2-0 pitch. A little extra. This is a 2-seamer to the inside, 93 miles an hour. See that ball stay real straight and true. But Arrieta really has not historically this year had troubles in the first inning. He's only allowed 6 first inning runs.
2-ball, 1 strike count. Not a big lead for Escobar at first base. Throw over will get him back to the bag. You know, Arrieta came out hoping he was going to have one of those real quick innings. Now, base stealers against Arrieta have done well. They are 10 out of 14 with Arrieta on the mound. Wieters continues to throw him out at a 44% clip. Runner not going. 2-1 delivery will be away, and Arrieta is struggling with the strike zone here. It's 3-1.
Yeah, falling into poor counts early on. Again, 10 out of 14. A little bit more speed in this lineup with Corey Patterson down the bottom, but Rajai Davis out of the lineup tonight. He really has been doing a lot of running since the All-Star break.
Toronto is 4th in the league in stolen bases. They have been caught the 11th most, but they'll run. And Farrell's not afraid to send him or give him the green light. 3-ball, 1 strike delivery. Runner not going, and he's walked him, and Arrieta's in trouble here in the first inning. A single and a walk. So that's the first walk surrender in the last 2 games.
We get that out of the way early. Again with the walk, you don't mind giving up the home runs, which we've talked about giving up in each of his last 3 starts, as long as they are solo home runs. When you start getting into this kind of situation with a very powerful club and going through the middle of this hot Jays lineup.
Now here is Jose Bautista, the world leader in homers, the 31, leading the major leagues. Leads the majors not only in home runs but in walks, on base percentage, and slugging, and in the OPS number. And a real dangerous spot early in this ball game for Jake Arrieta. Bautista's 0 for 7 off Arrieta, and he will take the pitch, and it's inside for a ball. And Arrieta has not been ahead of any of the first 3 hitters. Bautista's season numbers with runners in scoring position. He's got 2 on, nobody out. He's hit into 5 ground ball double plays this year. And that pitch is taken for a strike, and you can see even Bautista, having watched Arrieta, is going to wait a while here. They're going to make Arrieta throw. He's going to have to throw some strikes before they start swinging.
You can also see that brings out the best fastball from Arrieta, the confrontation with Bautista.
Outside to him. 2-1 strike count.
And frankly, this is where the Orioles staff has had some success against Batista. It is really staying away from his power, staying everything down low and away. Just aim for that outside corner or just miss.
2-1 strike count. Runners off first and second base. Bautista will take it. He did not go around. Bruce Druckmann down at first, and another 3-ball count. Mercy, 3-1.
Let's take a look at this approach by Batista. Checks it. A little peek down the first base.
Arrieta's got to be very careful right here. Here's the 3-1 delivery, and Bautista swinging will put it in the air behind second base. Infield fly rule in effect as Andino puts it away, and a big out. And Bautista now in the year is just 3 for 20 against the Orioles.
It really swings at the pitcher's pitch. Certainly not one. It was a strike, but certainly was not the pitch that he was looking for. 3-1 breaking ball. So a big out by Arrieta.
Let's see if Lynn can get the base hit, or can Arrieta find a way maybe to get a ground ball and get out of this in a hurry. 7 ground into double plays for Lind on the season. Escobar at second. Thames over at first base. Lind, another one of those players Mike was talking about. You put a circle around for this game if you're Arrieta. He is 10 for 18 against the Orioles with 5 home runs and 8 runs batted in this year.
I think he came right off the DL when we were back in Baltimore to put up some of those numbers.
Yep. 1-0 count. Again falling behind the hitter. And that one is going to go to right center field. Jones is there. Runners halfway, will go back. And another big out. And there are 2 down. Now here's a chance to get out of it. You've got to get through the top of this order if you're going to beat the Jays, because there's a marked variance in hitters 1 through 4 and 5 through 9.
Now you can see the batting average drops off about 50 or so points. Home runs down, RBIs down, and the runs obviously way down. Again, the top of this order does most of the damage. So far, weaving his way through it.
Don Farrell's ball club, as we said, they're playing 500 ball. They are 12 games behind the leader in the division. And here is Encarnacion. 7 home runs, 25 RBIs, looking for the big 2-out RBI. That ball shattered the bat, goes to short. Flip, and they get the double play, and a great job by Arrieta. After the first 2 got on and he struggled throughout the inning, not getting ahead of hitters, he nevertheless gets out of it and went on the DL. The Orioles waited today until he took batting practice to make sure he was going to be able to go. He was, so he's reinstated. Mark Worrell optioned to AAA, and Michael Gonzalez, he's starting a 3-game suspension service with this game today. So the Orioles are 1 shy in the bullpen. And Vladdy gets the first pitch and a base hit. So Guerrero doesn't take long to return. He's got the single.
I was going to say, I thought he might take a strike. No. Wrong. Now wasting no time. Breaking ball probably off the outside corner. It's a nice clean single. I know. I'm sure all this. You need a couple of bats out on the rehab. I don't think so. I'm ready to go. Let me launch a couple and back in the lineup.
And he was in batting practice, launching some. Here's Matt Wieters. So the Orioles get their first hit of the ball game against Brendan Morrow, and here's Wieters, who's 1 for 4 off Morrow, and that hit is a home run. Matt has not had a hit in his last 12 times to the plate. Batting .308 right-handed, .247 left.
It's been a little slow since the All-Star break.
Inside corner strike. The old second half of the season where you got to grind them out, especially if you're a club that's out of postseason contention. You have to reach down to the bootstraps. Morrow's 1-1 delivery on the way. Wieters will take it. Morrow continuing to try to work inside on him, not letting him get those arms out, and will fall behind 2-1. Left-handers against Morrow are hitting .246, 4 homers. Right-handers .214 with 1 home run. 2-1 delivery. Got that one. That's a base hit. Hit hard. Thames up with it. Guerrero will stop. Wieters on. Orioles have the first 2 on here in the second inning. Orioles will be back at Camden Yards on Friday, August 5 to begin a 10-game homestand. Jays, Sox, and Tigers, the White Sox. The homestand kicks off with fireworks night Friday. The Orioles taking on the Jays in the 7:05 game. Get your tickets in advance and save 888-848-BIRD. Go to Orioles.com. Wieters out of the 0 for 12 with a base hit. Here's Lee. It's the RBI opportunity. 34 of them on the board so far. And Derek will foul that one straight back for a strike.
Yeah, had a pretty good pitch to hit right down the middle, about 90. Stuff so far tonight for Morrow doesn't really seem to be as good from the stretch as it was from the windup.
Vladimir Guerrero, the lead runner. Wieters on at first base. And Lee, the 0-1 delivery, gets it in the air to the gap in left center field. And that's going to get in. Snyder with a dive could not get to it. Patterson will back him up. Guerrero has scored. Wieters will score. 2 RBI double by Lee, and the Orioles have a 2-0 lead.
A nice read by Matt Wieters. Get all the way around the bases. Fastball in the inside part of the plate. Kind of hits a seam in the outfield. May have been misjudged a little in center. Glad can score easy. You can see how Matt Wieters right on his heels. Nice read, and they score easily.
So Lee, who had been struggling getting those hits with runners in scoring position, gets one there. He's got 36 RBIs and his 14th double of the year. The Orioles go on top against Morrow. Still nobody out. First 3 have reached with hits. Here's Reynolds. Mark will take the pitch down low for a ball. Jones has struggled on the road. Mark Reynolds has not. Look at the differential in that average. Home runs about equal, and RBIs, but that average on the road so much better than at Camden Yards, which is kind of inexplicable for a hitter like Mark Reynolds.
Hitting over 100 points higher on the road. Actually had that one hot series in the National League going through interleague play where he played so well and hit so well. He and Derek Lee both.
Here's the 1-1 delivery to him, and he will foul it back. Reynolds on the season just 197 with runners in scoring position and a couple of home runs in these situations. He has done what the Orioles anticipated. He has struck out not as much as he had in the past. He has walked more than he has in the past, and he's put up some decent power numbers for the Orioles with the 21 home runs and 51 RBIs. Morrow keeping an eye on lead second base. Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2-2.
That's the pitch you have to lay off of if you can, once you get ahead in the count. See, the count is everything when you're hitting against Brandon Morrow.
2-2. And that's going to be outside as he slipped on the follow through on the mound that time, and it's a full count, 3-2. Brandon Morrow doing a little groundwork out there now. He almost fell down.
Yeah, he clearly doesn't seem happy with his. And again, he hasn't pitched well at home this year, where last year he was terrific at home. Won 8-1 last year here in Toronto.
3-ball, 2-strike count. That'll go to short. Runner's got to stay. Escobar off the mark. Tag put on by Lind at first base. There's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, upset with himself. Low rocket, got a pitch to hit. Just hit it right at Escobar.
That'll bring up Nolan Reimold. It has been a disappointing month for Reimold in the sense that he's been given some at-bats to prove that he should be in the outfield for that left field position, and he's hit only 190 in the month of July with 1 home run. It's not where he wanted it to be. He'll continue to get starts here, but this is his chance to show whether or not he's ready to be an everyday ballplayer.
Well, especially with Luke Scott out the remainder of the season, there's plenty of at-bats to be had by Nolan Reimold. No excuse at this point. You're right, just 4 for 22 in the homestand. Did walk 5 times.
He's got a runner at second base. Takes
the center field. Just about out of it here. Fastball, late movement. Easy ground ball to Hardy, and gets out with such a terrible situation. First and second, nobody out. Heart of the order. Gets out of the certainly round 1 in this game tonight.
So Arrieta, 18 pitches thrown in the first inning, all said and done. That's all of it's pretty darn good to have thrown only 18 when he was behind all of the hitters he faced. He'll face Travis Snyder, power hitter, 233 in the year, and Snyder goes after the first one, and that one got Wieters. This is not a good night so far for the catchers.
I think he's looking over at Molina. Can I use your mask?
Will you be my darling now?
You like him better than me. You didn't clean off the plate for me.
Elena's over there going,
Yeah.
I know what that feels like.
And who is this Wieters? And what's my name?
What's my name? Swung on a miss, good off-speed pitch by Arrieta, and it goes to 2 strikes. Travis Snyder, 23 years old, first-round pick, 14th overall, the 06 draft, and a lot of hope still that this is going to be a regular for this ball club in the future and provide some more power. So where Wieters set up way outside, trying to get him to chase, and he would not do it. A 1-ball, 2-strike count from Arrieta. That Wieters checking the feet of the hitter Snyder. And another off-speed pitch is going to be chopped foul at the plate. For Jake Arrieta against Toronto, he is 2-1, 3 career starts, 2.89 ERA. We showed you a good one. 0-1 here at Rogers Center. He's pitched against the Jays twice this year, 1-1. 1-2 delivery. Boy, he's got Snyder all messed up on his timing here with these off-speed pitches.
Yeah, big sweeping curveball from Arrieta. Watch the break. That 12-6 outstanding finish.
Arrieta gets 63% of leadoff batters coming into this ball game. It's one of the numbers he'd like to up a little bit, and he will here. Hard hopper right back to him over to Lee, and one away second inning. And our second inning brought to you by Luna. Call today for the Luna Double. Get your second room of flooring free. 877-241 Luna. Reliever ERA leaders in the American League. Koji Uehara among that group with that 1.8 ERA. I mean, those are spectacular numbers. To have that many relievers below the 2.0 ERA, that's a lot.
And that's a hard-working group right there too.
Big games, big situation pitchers.
You don't get a lot of the credit. Usually pitching in the biggest jams in the 7th and 8th inning.
Here's Aaron Hill, 226 batting average. If he played against the Orioles, he'd be hitting 300. Boy, he's had a 375 average against the Orioles this year with a home run, 3 RBIs. Again this season overall, though, it's been tough for him. 1-1 delivery by Arrieta. Breaking ball will miss away. 2-1.
Yeah, he just hasn't been able to put together the kind of numbers that looked like he was going to put up every year. And 375 versus the other, that's just in 6 games. But he had 36 home runs a couple of years ago. 26 last year, though the average plummeted from 286 to 205. Yeah, drove in 108 runs. Just think what that kind of offense added to the rest of this offense would look like.
A concern if these numbers stay the same for the rest of the season, because it will be 2 years in a row for Aaron Hill, who's on the verge of becoming 30. That'll be foul back. 2-ball, 2-strike count, and there will have to be front office questions about who is the real Aaron Hill. Guy we had hitting between 206 and the year 2006 and 2009, or the hitter over the last 2 years.
Again, he's been one of those too. He had one of those concussions back in 2008.
He's got a base hit here. Reimold over to get it. Second hit for the Jays. And our Maryland Lottery double play contestant of the game, Colleen Knight from Glen Burnie. For every double play the Orioles turn, Colleen, you get $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery. You too can enter. Great scratch-off prizes are available, along with maybe some cash. Find out at mdlottery.com/doubleplay. Good luck, Colleen. Officially now a night game. Here's the former Oriole, Patterson. You actually looked at your watch.
I did to see if it was night.
No, Colleen Knight.
Oh, okay.
You gotta explain it.
Oh, no, I mean, usually you don't.
Honest.
And why would I look at my watch to see if it was night?
I'm going. He's looking at his watch
to see if it was night.
Well, 5 o'clock's an official.
Like that
night
make
game.
any sense too? It's like, come on. It's like saying how high is up. It's like, hey, no. It's night. I was just taking your word for it, and then took a look out. I thought you just turned the lights on.
That's it. I'm done.
Okay.
Putting the script away.
Okay, night.
All these ad libs I've written out, they're gone. Done.
I missed one. I missed one out of what? 300 of those? Come on. But it's early. Give me a chance. I'll bounce back.
Okay. And the pitchers take it inside. Former Oriole against Arrieta with a runner at first base and one down. Corey Patterson. He has hit 269 against the Orioles, a home run, couple of RBIs this year. He's in the lineup tonight. One of the reasons, because he's 3 for 7 with a homer off Jake Arrieta. Runner at first base is Hill. Very short lead. Arrieta 2-1. Runner goes. Swung on and fouled off. He did not have a big jump on that one. He'll come back.
Yeah, Aaron Hill's been doing a lot more running. That's maybe what's part of his game has changed. 13 stolen bases this year for the Blue Jays.
And caught only twice. So the count at 2-2. Orioles infield playing Patterson to pull. Hardy's almost behind second base. Shortstop. Arrieta using that high set. 2-2 delivery, and he gets the chopper back to the mound. He's got it. Hardy's there. Relay to first, and not in time. Derek Lee tried to help coming off the bag, but Patterson with real good speed beats it out.
Yeah, nice job getting the lead runner, Aaron Hill. This ball in real trouble if it gets over Arrieta's head. Get that lead runner. Not a great throw to J.J. Hardy. I thought it was a pretty close play at first. Bang, bang.
So now Patterson on. Number 9 hitter. Jose Molina coming up. Molina's got a 3-game hit streak coming into the ball game. And you see the very fine .315 batting average. Only 9 RBIs and a couple of home runs for him this year.
He's another one of the hot J hitters. He's 6 for his last 12.
Only the 33rd game that he has appeared in.
Looks like he broke out old Blue Jay Tony Batista's stance.
Wide open.
Wide open, facing the hit, directly facing the pitcher.
Arrieta using that very high set, Mike. Maybe trying to get a little quicker to the plate and to first base.
Yeah, absolutely. That's been part of the mechanical adjustment for Arrieta. He's, again, with runners on, was very slow to the plate. So you raise your hands a little bit, not as far as a swing to go.
There goes Patterson. Wieder's throw is one hop. That's a stolen base. Corey Patterson's got 13.
Yeah, but he's been caught more than usual this year. Not a big lead. Patterson always beats you with his speed. A lot of times you want to have 1 foot out on that artificial surface. Just too good of a jump.
So that will give Molina the RBI opportunity with 2 down and a runner on at second base. And he will take the pitch up high. Arrieta does not want to turn this order over with the leadoff batter Escobar waiting on deck. 2 ball 1 strike count. Real solid number for Molina with runners in scoring position this year. That pitch is going to be there. Kept it down low, and the count will go to 2-2. Molina's had multi-hit games 9 of the last 18, which has pushed that average up. to the 3:15 mark. 2-2 delivery. He'll be late on that, and a souvenir provided. Arrieta up to 40 pitches now, and we're in the second inning.
That's not a good start. And again, he's been in trouble. Had runners in scoring position each of the first 2 innings.
And 2-out RBIs have been a problem for Orioles starters this year. Not this time. He put that one right there. So Arrieta gets the big strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Orioles on top, 2-0. Budweiser, official beer of the first inning. Great times on deck. Grab some buds. Gary Thorne, Mike Flanagan, choo-choo. That's outside here where the train turnstiles used to be, and now it's a fine brewing company. What's it called? Steam Whistle Brewery. I knew you guys would know. Here is Hardy, who flied out to center field his first time up. They give tours there too, by the way.
Early tours. Yeah.
Early tours. Yeah. At the Steam Whistle Brewery. And only our cameraman would know that it starts at 10:30.
Every day.
He's been first in line a number of times, actually. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Hardy, and that will be foul back. Got a pretty good cut on that one. So Morrow also pitch count going up. He's thrown 41 so far, so both of these starters have had to work. We're only in the 3rd inning of the ball game. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and Hardy will take the fastball inside. Morrow, 69% of leadoff batters retired. He usually doesn't struggle with that. The Orioles got Guerrero on in the second to lead it off and got 2 runs in the inning. 2-2 delivery. Hardy got a hold of that one. That is deep to left field, way back of the wall, and goodbye, home run. He has done it again. J.J. Hardy continues his tear, home run number 15. And the Orioles have a 3-0 lead.
And his tear against the Blue Jays. Now 11 for 27. 2-2 pitch. Not that bad of a pitch on the inside corner. And he pulls his hands way in close, gets the bat head to it, and just lines it out of here.
And for Hardy, his 3rd home run against the Blue Jays, 3 of the 15, and Morrow doesn't give up many. That's only the 6th home run Brandon Morrow has surrendered, and only the 2nd to have been hit by a right-hander.
I gave up 1 a couple of starts ago. Like I said, he doesn't give up many. He gave up 1 in the first start of the year, went a long stretch.
So the Orioles getting to the Jays starter for 3 runs on 4 hits so far. And here's Nick Markakis, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Hardy getting his 2nd career home run here in this ballpark. Did he go around? They will check at 3rd. No, he did not. Rob Drake. Nick Markakis closing in on that 300 mark against Toronto. 319 lifetime number. He has always hit this staff hard, and it's been a pretty darn good staff. 2 ball, 1 strike count. And Nick will take the pitch away, and it goes to 3-1. Markakis here in this ballpark, a .304 career average, 5 homers here at Rogers Center. Morrow with a 3-1 delivery. And a strike. Brandon Morrow's birthday party so far is not going exactly as he had hoped. Outfield shaded to left on Markakis. Here's the 3-2. Check swing and hold that one away. During Morrow's streak, we were talking about 7 games, 5-0 record, .285 earned run average. Club winning all those games. We remind you of that because the Orioles putting up some early numbers against a pitcher who has not been giving them up.
He's not lost since June 11th.
And Markakis will foul it back. Looking at the last time he gave up more than 3 earned runs was against Boston on July 4. He gave up 4 runs on 5 hits in that ball game, a ball game that he won. He has not given up more than 6 runs in a ball game this year. 3-2 delivery, and he walks Markakis, and that is his first walk. Our Captain Morgan game flow about the Orioles getting to a real good starter early with the 2 RBI double by Lee that came in the 2nd inning and the homer by Hardy to lead off this one. And the Orioles are going to try and put some big thump in early against Morrow as Hardy got his 15th home run to kick the inning off. Adam Jones. Jones, a strikeout victim. And the fastball's missing up high. Molina's going to go out to have a word with him. Well, he's doing that. We want to recognize great news that a statue is going to be erected around Camden Yards for the great third baseman Hall of Famer Brooks Robinson. The construction work has begun. It'll be at the intersection of Washington Boulevard and Russell Street across from the northeast side of Camden Yards down the left field side. Henry Rosenberg Jr., longtime friend of Brooksy's, is involved in that. Joseph Shepard, the sculptor, is from Baltimore and saw Brooksy over the weekend at the Hall of Fame, and he was in great spirits and looked good, had a real good time there, and it's just great to see Brooksy out active again, and congratulations to the recognition that's going to come his way with this bronze statue going up.
Yeah, terrific.
Hope to have that done by the end of October. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Adam Jones, and he'll put it in the air to right field. Thames is there, runner halfway. 1 out. So Morrow trying to work through an inning where he's had his problems. That'll bring up Guerrero. Saw 1 pitch and delivered a single and scored in the 2nd inning.
So not a whole lot has changed for Vladdy.
First game back, 1 pitch. And we'll go after the first one here. A heater and a 1-strike count. Guerrero 3 for 9 off Morrow. Vladdy now at 281 on the year. It's the RBI number that's been disappointing. Only 31 runs batted in and 7 home runs for Guerrero. And the 0-1 is fouled back. These are big numbers lifetime against these Jays. Doug Showalter hoping his club can get another win here. This ballpark here in Toronto has been a very tough place for the Orioles. Finally got out of that long losing streak the last time they played here. Back on June 16, the Orioles finally got a win which ended a 16-game win streak that the Jays had against the Orioles in this ballpark going back to 2009. Markakis, good lead. He stepped off another half a step. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Guerrero puts it up in the air, shallow left center. Escobar called off. Patterson coming on. 2 down. Two away, runner remains at first base. That'll bring up Matt Wieters. Matt picked up a single and was one of the 2 runs scored on the Lee double. Markakis at first base. Not shown any desire to go yet and does not hear. Good stop made by Molina as that one was in the dirt. Molina has thrown out only 29% of base stealers, and against Morrow, base stealers are 12 for 15. So those two numbers would seem to be pretty good numbers to run on.
Well, and the other thing is that Aaron Seaby, the other catcher, they're really running on. So this is, I guess they feel like they can really control the running game somewhat with Molina behind the plate.
And an inside corner strike to Wieters, as Morrow in both of these at bats to Wieters, staying right on the hands, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. One slow grounder, almost ate him up, but Lind able to get it. No, wow. Lind had trouble fielding that ball, and Morrow.
Yeah, it turned out to be a timing issue. I think you're exactly right. Morrow just kind of gives a sweep at the bag with his right foot, goes right over the top of it. Get the credit the first base umpire for just not taking anything for granted. Watch right here. He'll just kind of sweep over the top of it. Oof. A little bit of a mistimed play, but right here, watch the right foot. Right over the top.
And no argument for Morrow, as Bruce Druckman had that one right on the money. It'll be an error called, I'm assuming, on the pitcher Morrow, because it was there in time. So the Orioles keep the inning alive. Runners on at first and second base with 2 down, and here's Lee, who had the 2 RBI double. He'll swing and miss on that one. So Morrow's going to be extended. 61 pitches.
That's a lot this early, over 20 on average, and I think they'd give him a few extra for his birthday. Maybe take some off the total amount, or no benefit so far.
Orioles will love to get him out of there, I guess. You'd have thought that coming into the game. And there's another base hit by Lee, making the turn and coming around to score. Markakis, throw to the plate will not be in time. And Lee's off to a big night. 3 RBIs, 2 hits, and the Orioles extend their lead to 4-0.
Well, the inning gets extended by the play at Morrow at first base, and Lee wastes no time. It's a pretty good pitch. It's a slider. It's a clean single, a little bit off the end of the bat, but clean line drive to center field.
Lee getting a look at Morrow for the first time, and obviously liking what he sees. Bruce Walton, the pitching coach, coming to the mound. So Morrow in trouble as the Orioles get to him for 4 runs on 5 hits so far, and we're only in the 3rd inning. Home run by Hardy started it. Markakis walked. He has scored. Then after 2 fly ball outs, the error on the Wieters ground ball kept it alive, and Lee took advantage of it with an RBI base hit. That'll equal his RBI high this year, as Lee had 3 against Cincinnati on the 26th of June. Now Mark Reynolds first and second. All of this in the extended inning because of the error. Down low for ball. Reynolds grounding out his first time up. Wieters at second base, Lee at first. And that is a strike. Reynolds continues among the walk leaders in the American League. He's got 55. He is 8th. Bautista leads the American League with 81 walks. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Thought about it, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Take a look at our Lexus League leaderboard, brought to you by Lexus of Towson, Baltimore area's #1 Lexus dealer, who invites you to come in and see why they're #1. Bautista, home run department, 31. Mike Reynolds, 21, 10 behind him, but among the leaders. And a home run cut right there on a pitch down and away, 2-2.
And you see Adam Jones just off that list, that top 10 list. That's the thing the Orioles haven't been doing the last couple of games. Haven't been even getting the base on balls.
Orioles Amazingly, the home run leader in the majors since June 1. It's now 62 home runs. And well, you talk about turning on a pitch. He almost hit that backwards.
So I'm going to sit on a fastball and let's see what happens. Watch this pitch where it ends up. Up in his eyes. And he hits it. I guess extreme pull to the third base side.
Even he was smiling on that one. Runners off first and second, 2-2. And Morrow's going to go full. 3-ball, 2-strike count. So the starter, who has not lost in 7, is really having his problems here tonight. The Orioles so far making him pay for it.
I'm sure he just thinking to himself, just touch the base.
This inning.
How many times do we do that in spring training? 400 or 500 times a day, it seems like.
A towering pop-up outside of third. Bautista leaning. Not quite. Went off his glove and into the road where his glove was leaning on it.
And that specialty box is down the third base line. See him measuring in right hand, and looks like he goes off the heel of the glove.
Bautista getting the start at third base of late. Of course, having been in right field for much of the season. Had an ankle injury that was bothering him. That appears to be all right now. So the 3-2 will come again. And he'll take advantage of it. No. Another foul ball. Hit it hard.
Molina just said we just need to get one pitch to get out of this inning. It has been a lot of work for Brandon Morrow last couple of innings.
You just can't find that put-away pitch.
Breaking balls, he's hung a number of them this inning. Again, we talk about he probably has one of the best sliders in the game. But it's been increasingly up in the zone since the first, when he struck out 2 of the first 3 hitters of the game. Looked like he had his A game working.
A 3-ball, 2-strike count for the third time. And that's going to be fouled off. 35 pitches thrown. 33 thrown in this inning now. And 71 in the game.
I'd like to know how many since the missed cover of first base. Probably 8 right here. At least another 10 or 12.
Mark Reynolds doing a good job of fighting off pitches. Runners will go again. Here's the 3-2, and he got it. That'll be the 5th strikeout, but the Orioles add another 2. The first one coming on Hardy's 15th home run of the year, and the Orioles have a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, we were thinking about today. Most living Hall of Famers on one team. The Giants with 6, St. Louis Cardinals with 6, the Orioles with their prominent 5, the Red Sox also with 5, Cubs, Yankees with 4. As we were thinking about Ripken, Murray, Palmer, Frank, and Brooks.
Good numbers, and a lot of those living legends were on hand in Cooperstown this past weekend. Here's Yanel Escobar. They're going to retire Alomar's number on Sunday here at the ballpark. Special ceremonies. I saw both he and his dad are here, coming from Cooperstown directly to Toronto, and will stay for the week and then have the celebration on Sunday here at the ballpark. Escobar with the 0-1 delivery, and a chopper down to third, barehanded, and got away. And down to second base will go Escobar, and maybe to third, but he doesn't realize the ball got away from Andino. So it'll be a base hit and an error. So each pitcher now has committed an error.
Now let's take a look at it. Just a little chopper towards third base. No play for Reynolds. Arrieta throws it down the line. Very upset with himself. Again, pretty good breaking ball. Escobar gets out of the box extremely well. Barehanded down the line and out of reach of Derek Lee.
So a runner at second base. Both pitchers are not helping their own cause here in this one. And that'll bring up Eric Thames with a runner at second base. Thames drew a walk his first time up. That is the third hit, all singles in the ball game for the Jays. And the pitch will be taken for a strike.
Well, it hasn't taken long in any inning to get right into the stretch position for Arrieta.
Working with runners on, leadoff man on in the first inning, leadoff man on here in the third, second man on in the second inning.
You talked about that relatively low number for leading off innings. It just seems like Arrieta, most of his starts are like this, that he just seems to be in the stretch all night long. And it's work.
Arrieta with a 1-ball 2-strike count. The rookie in the last 25 games at the plate has hit .317. And coming back up on his recall from AAA. 1-2 delivery. Came inside, good pitch, and he chopped it foul. He's got the entire left side of the infield if he wants to put the ball there, if he can. Hardy's moved way over behind the runner at second base, and Reynolds is playing normal position at third.
Yeah, they pretty much have him dead pull in the infield and a couple of steps to pull in the outfield.
Thames with a 1-ball 2-strike count. Runner off second. Ate him up. Came inside and got him. Good pitch by Arrieta, his second strikeout.
And that's about as good a breaking ball as you can throw. Watch him get on top. This 12-6 break. Out of the strike zone, in and through. Best breaking ball from Arrieta so far. First out of the inning.
That will bring up Bautista, whose struggles against the Orioles continue. He's popped out his first time up. 3 for 20 on the year against the O's. 0 for 8 lifetime off Arrieta. And a home run cut right there and a strike.
As we talked about the scouting report, it just seems like they're just going to try to stay away from Bautista's power.
Bautista's hitting .350 in July, and he has 7 home runs. He is tied for first in the American League in homers in the month. He leads everybody in homers on the season in the majors. He's had more home runs against right-handed pitchers than anyone. And here at his home yard, he's tied for second in home runs in his home ballpark. And he will chop that foul. He's had 16 home runs here, 15 on the road. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way, and he hit him in the head. Oh, in the head. Arrieta goes down on the mound on his knees, flinching as the ball went off, hopefully the side of the helmet.
It looked like Arrieta reaching back for a little extra, may have gotten away from him. A lot of the fans reacting to the 0-2 count.
Bautista hit by a pitch the third time, and Arrieta hitting about it the third time.
They want it up. Ooh. They don't want it in. You just hate to see anything up around the head area to anybody.
That's one of those, Mike. There was nowhere to go.
Yeah, he just turns his head late back towards the plate.
Now, of course, the concussion issue comes to the fore on any play like that.
I think what he's trying to say was hopefully a glancing blow. And that shows like John Farrow looking back towards the dugout.
You can see the mark. He's coming out of the game. John McDonald will come on to run, and a very unhappy Bautista leaves the ball game. So hopefully he will be all right, and now Arrieta's got to regroup. Runners on at first and second base with one away, and Lind coming to the plate. He flied out his first time up. And as all fans know, the concussion discussion has really led to just no chances being taken in situations like this. If there's any issue that there may be some problem in that regard, then you come out of the ball game.
Yeah, they've even come up with a new disabled list for it.
Yep. 0-1 delivery to Lind is going to miss away, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. I mean, Arrieta, after the pitch was thrown, he went down and he was kneeling down.
Oh, you could tell he was upset.
Oh, and he was like, oh no. 1-ball 1-strike count, and that's going to be inside. Mike, I got to believe, especially for a young pitcher, I mean, you've been out there in this situation, the regrouping is not easy after you've plunked somebody like that.
It definitely is not. You could see again Arrieta's reaction after the pitch. And you become a little gun shy yourself. I mean, you don't really want to hurt anybody. You want to compete. It can become unsettling both ways. The same as I know hitters that have hit pitches with line drives.
That ball deep to left center field, way back, and goodbye! Home run! Lind with a 3 RBI homer. It's a 1-run game. He is just tearing the Orioles up.
And now the 5th consecutive game he has homered against the Orioles. We told you some of the unbelievable numbers. 2-1 breaking ball, low middle of the plate. And this is almost a no doubt about it, out to left center field.
So that will clear the bases, and the home run ball, which Arrieta has struggled with all year, rises again. That'll be number 19 for Lind. That is the 6th home run he has against the Orioles this year. He is now 11 for 20 with 6 home runs and 11 RBIs against the Orioles.
And where they've really handled Jose Bautista extremely well. They don't know how to pitch Lind, that's for sure.
Aaron Encarnacion will take it away, and for Arrieta, that's number 20. Only Colby Lewis of Texas has given up more home runs. Towering pop-up. Reynolds. Aaron Encarnacion is retired, and 2 down in the inning. Well, we said at the top, you've got the Orioles who've had more home runs in the majors since June 1. You've got Toronto 4th in the league in home runs, the major league leader in homers. Chances are pretty good you're going to have some home runs.
A couple of things colliding.
Yeah. Largely bat on ball. Here's Snyder, another home run threat. He grounded out his first time up. And keep in mind, Arrieta has committed an error in the inning that allowed Escobar to move to second base, the leadoff runner in the game. Then the hit batter against Bautista, which obviously shook him up a little bit, and Lind, who was the very next hitter, delivers a home run. One.
That's the thing. Arrieta has thrown so few pitches out of the windup. We talked a lot about the adjustment he's made. Hands over the head, much bigger delivery, much more powerful delivery by Arrieta, but he's just thrown so few pitches out of the windup.
1-2 pitch will be taken inside. And the count goes to 2-2 with 2 down. 4 runs, 5 hits, an error for the Orioles. 3 runs, 4 hits, an error for Toronto. One of the Orioles runs is unearned. It came in the 3rd inning. 2-2 delivery on the way, and he will miss with that, and it goes to 3-2 and a changeup.
They hadn't mixed many of those in. Now with the Blue Jays back in it, 4-3. The ball strike ratio not good tonight.
And a swing and a miss. So Arrieta will get his 3rd strikeout, but not before 3 runs crossed on the Lynn 3 RBI homer. In Toronto with the Dome open on what has been a beautiful day and a pretty nice evening as well. Interesting game, and Nolan Reimold joins in way back in left field. Goodbye home run, and the barrage continues. Morrow's first pitch here in the 4th inning is a home run, and the Orioles get one of them back and make it 5-3.
6th home run of the year for Reimold, and this ball is blistered. Bell tie down the middle of the plate. This ball ends up in the 2nd deck out towards left center field.
Wow.
In and out of the fan's glove as he went to show off his prize catch. It rolled out.
So 2 home runs for the Orioles in the game. Number 6 for Nolan Reimold. Morrow given up only 5 home runs in his previous 17 starts, and the Orioles have had 2 off him in this game. And Reimold trying to earn playing time. Really clouts one. It didn't take long to get one of those back. Jim Presley, hitting coach.
I'm telling him how he did it. They had early hitting this afternoon. A lot of the club out around 2 o'clock.
And Dino with a big cut himself fouls it back in a 1-ball 2-strike count. Head over to Facebook.com/Masson Orioles right now and enter for a chance to win one of 30 Orioles autographed items Masson's giving away all month long. Jays have hit 64 home runs here in this ballpark. Opponents have hit 45. That's going to be a base hit into left field, and Morrow puts the glove up to his mouth after the base hit to have some words with himself that can't be repeated on the air, as he just does not have it here in this ballgame.
Yeah, he retired the side to order in the 1st, and it's been nothing but a struggle since. John Farrell just bullpen will get up and get in action. He's realizing the same thing.
Oh, the Orioles with 7 hits off Morrow, the starter, and the pitch is going to be taken by J.J. Hardy. Hardy a home run, his 15th, 3rd inning, and he is flied out. Sean Camp, first bullpen action we've had in the ball game.
That's the thing. It just shows you it doesn't matter how good your stuff is, you just can't throw the ball belt high and expect to get away with it with major league hitters. And even that pitch right there, belt high, 92 miles an hour.
McDonald has stayed in the ball game for Bautista, playing at 3rd base. John McDonald. Bautista hit by the pitch in the head. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Hardy. Andino a pretty good lead. Not going, and it's foul tipped.
You see Morrow just look off because that ball is another hanger. That went pretty much to the glove. 3rd home run versus Toronto this season for J.J. Hardy. We got the Oriole offense going and in gear.
Count at 1-2. Nobody out in the inning. Hardy. He'll take the pitch away. 2 ball, 2 strike count. 81 pitches thrown by the 27-year-old. And the birthday celebration he'd hoped to have, at least for the moment, is being put off by the Oriole bats. 5 runs and 7 hits. Again, one to try and drive is foul back. 2-2.
He's trying to keep his game face on.
Yep. It's only the second time this year he's given up 2 home runs in a ball game. The other was against the Cardinals in a non-decision game on June 24. Morrow staring in this time at the home plate umpire. Where was that? He is asking Gary Darling.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're a little bit wild, you're just not going to get the close pitches. A little bit of a pullback by Molina.
So Hardy gets it full, 3-2. Let's see if Andino runs. He does. And Hardy's got another one. That is way back in left. And goodbye, home run. A 2-homer ball game for J.J. Hardy. That is number 16. And the Orioles get those runs right back and lead it 7-3.
Well, we talked about the hanging breaking ball and where they usually end up. 3-2 pitch. Hung poorly on the inside part of the plate, up in Hardy's eyes, and give him credit, he does not miss it. Just a low screamer into the left field stands.
3 RBI ball game for Hardy. A 3 RBI ball game for Derek Lee. The Orioles have hit 3 home runs in the game. First time Morrow has given up 3 in a ball game this year. And Nick Markakis will take it for a strike. 7 runs on 8 hits, and 3 of the 8 have been homers. Solo shot Reimold, Hardy a solo shot, and a 2 RBI homer. Markakis on a count and a miss, 0-2. Markakis has walked and struck out. He has scored a run. We knew we'd see some homers in the game. I'm not sure we expected this early. Certainly not against Brandon Morrow. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way, and Markakis will take it inside. Now, I just raised this. Bautista got hit in the head. He wasn't happy, clearly, when he left the game. Morrow's about ready to leave the game.
Yeah, 0-2 pitch.
What do you do?
Definitely was intended for inside.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. That'll bounce. And the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nick, a 4 for 9 lifetime hitter against the right-hander. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Markakis towards second. Hill. And a mock cheer goes up. Gather up your group and enjoy Oriole Park's newest fan destination, the Miller Lite Flight Deck. One low price, casual atmosphere, bar-like seating. Everyone in the group gets a food and beverage voucher you can use anywhere in the yard. The Miller Lite Flight Deck, 888-848-BIRD, or Orioles.com for details. Base is clear, and an out recorded. Here's Jones, who has struck out and flied out. That's going to be a base hit into left field and a broken bat. Corey Patterson over to get it. 9 hits in the game. And that will be it for the starter. So the Orioles have knocked Morrow out of the ball game. He has not lost in his last 7 starts, with 5 wins and 2 no decisions. He's got a 2-0 lifetime record against the Orioles. But Hardy with a couple of home runs and an Orioles lineup that's driving the ball and taking it to the pen, and Sean Campbell. 7 starts over 47 innings.
Now Sean Campbell come out of the bullpen. 44th appearance on the year. He is their long man. 1-1 record. ERA approaching 5. He's 1 out of 2 in save opportunity. Second on the club with 43 appearances. He does have 5 holds. 43 innings of work, 53 hits, just 19 walks, 11 walks, 19 strikeouts. So more of a control pitcher than a power pitcher out of the bullpen.
There goes Jones. Adam taken off on that one as Molina tried to come up in a hurry and never got the ball.
And had a great lead and a great jump. Straight steal, no look back to the plate.
The Jones will get himself in scoring position. as he picks up the stolen base. Vladimir Guerrero will get another RBI chance.
That's the thing, you can run against this Blue Jay team.
Hit hard to third base. McDonald holds the runner and gets Guerrero for the second out of the inning. Jones has to stay at second. Jones now 8 out of 9 stealing bases. Camp caught just not looking over as he came on to make his first pitch, and Jones saw it. Here's Matt Wieters. Wieters with a single, and he's reached on an error. Runner at second and 2 down. And he'll take the pitch inside from Camp. Moreau went 3 1/3 innings, second time this year. In fact, that's happened against the Detroit Tigers. He gave up 5 runs on 3 hits in a ball game, which he walked 3 and lasted only 3 1/3. Wieters will go to second base. Hill's got it, and that will do it in the inning. But the Orioles get it done. Reimold started it out with a home run, his 6th of the year. And the Orioles will have it followed up by Hardy, his 2nd of the game. 7-3, O's lead. The air is mighty pretty as you take a look through the roof here with the dome open. Beautiful sunset reflected on the clouds here in Toronto. Gary Thorne, Mike Flanagan with you, and Jake Arrieta stake to a 7-3 lead. He had a 4-0 lead. Saw that become a 1-run game in the 3rd inning on Lynn's 3 RBI homer. The Orioles get him right back for him in the 4th inning. 3 runs on 4 hits themselves. And the pitch is a strike. Aaron Hill 1-1.
I'm not sure what the formula is, but he does get the run support. The Orioles have scored 9 runs or more 6 times, and Arrieta has started 4 of those games.
1-1 delivery, and another one off the catcher, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Wieters has had a couple that have come right back on him.
Oh, yeah, just another right back at Wieters. This one off the right throwing shoulder. He's got a little extra pad. Not sure if he's looking over to Molina for sympathy.
Talking to Gary Darling, the home plate umpire. Molina just sitting looking.
Yeah,
I'm next.
Just shaking his head. I got to go out there for a round. What is this?
Arrieta's pitch away and a 2-ball 2-strike count. Pitch number 70 will be coming up from Arrieta. 7 runs, 9 hits, an error for the Orioles. 3, 4, and 1 for the Jays. And the home runs, as we had anticipated, have come fast and furious in this ball game. Hill, Patterson, and Molina bottom 3rd of the order. When you have the bottom 3rd, as we showed you, you want to get those 3 and get off the mound. Here's the 3-2 delivery, and that one's in the air to left. Goodbye, home run, Aaron Hill. 7-4.
The home run parade continues. 3-2 pitch. Bell tie down the middle. Aaron Hill, that little stutter step. Line drive into the left field seats.
5 home runs, 38 RBIs. His entire offensive season has come against the Orioles. As Aaron Hill, 2 for 2 in this ball game, hitting .400 against the Orioles, 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. And Jake Arrieta's surrendered 2 home runs again. The 4th consecutive ball game that he has done so. And a strike call. That's a new mitt that Wieters just went over to pick up from the dugout. Patterson will foul that one back. Look out. He hit into a fielder's choice his first time up.
I'm not sure there was a problem with the webbing, which sometimes happens.
Perhaps the swing by Hill.
Yeah.
The force of the air Took the webbing out. Came inside on him. Man, what a ball game.
Yeah, change the luck, superstition, whatever it is, maybe. I think that webbing may have broken. Catchers will always keep an extra glove.
Even the fans are buzzing about home runs here tonight. Patterson to second base. Andino. And this day to baseball history brought to you by Verizon Fios. Switch to Fios, the network ahead. To learn more, visit Fios.com/getFios at Verizon.com. This day to baseball history, 1933, Joe DiMaggio, a 61-game hit streak. He was playing in the Pacific Coast League. Warren Spahn set the National League record, 31st career home run as a pitcher in +62. And Don Sutton, Larry Doby, and Lee MacPhail would go into the Hall of Fame in this state in 1998. And for Lee MacPhail, he joined his dad Larry, becoming the first father and son to be enshrined in Cooperstown. Andy, are you listening? Jose Molina, and the pitch is taken outside, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. What a first 4 innings. Molina, strikeout victim.
It has been wild. And neither team scored in the first inning, and after that the gloves have been off. Literally and figuratively.
Here's the 2-1 delivery, and Molina way out in front of it. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Again, the old Tony Batista approach, very unusual, wide open stance. Tony's even, he about the same, had that left foot all the way back across that back line and stride into the pitch. He claimed it helped. He could have both eyes directly on the pitcher, as opposed to the more conventional stance where almost looking out of the left eye. This way you get them both facing directly out at the pitcher.
And the 3-2 will be chopped. No, Arrieta, 3-2 count, 1 down.
This one you recorded multiple hit games in 9 of your last 18 starts. Stay with it.
Stay with it. It's an awkward looking stance, but he looks
I would think it'd be distracting to the pitcher, even looking in. I used to remember John Walkenfuss had that wide open stance like that. He'd even wiggle one hand, and it would just really distract you as a pitcher.
3-2 breaking ball, and he knew it. Good one. Arrieta's had a good one tonight. That's his 4th strikeout, 2 down.
In 3-2 pitch, a lot of work for Arrieta, but a beauty. Second time he catches Molina.
That'll bring up Yunel Escobar. Escobar has delivered a couple of singles in the ball game, and he has scored a run. Adam Lind has his 19th home run, 3 RBIs. Hill with the solo home run here in this inning. Leaning away, will take the pitch for a ball. Hardy's had 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Lee's had double and a single and 3 RBIs. Reimold, RBI home run. Arrieta with 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. Moreau had a walk and 5 strikeouts when he left the ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike count, and 2 down. Escobar hitting .309 will take the pitch on the outside corner. 1-2.
And looks like it may have been a cross up. Either Wieters was looking for the 4-seamer or a breaking ball.
He's going, that's all I need, along with foul balls off my mask.
Does not know what's coming.
1-2 delivery right back to the mound. Snagged Arrieta, and he will get the out. So 1 run on 1 hit. No errors, nobody left. The home run by Hill has made it a 7-4 game in Toronto. Right here on Massey. Jake Arrieta struggling along, but he's got the lead in the ball game, looking to pick up his 10th win The 5th time that he's going after it, and a 7-4 ball game.
I just look at the scoreboard and say thank you for the run support. Now try to figure something out. Just keep giving me a chance.
Derek Lee, 3 RBI ball game, equaling his high for the Orioles this year. 2 RBI double, first time up, and an RBI single his last time to the plate. 1-1 delivery, and he chops that one to center on a line, and Snyder didn't get a good jump on it, and Lee is 3 for 3 in the ball game. And the leadoff man is on again. On our silver screen tonight, let's take a look at a lot of little in one. Texas Rangers 20-6 over Minnesota, the 3rd team in American League history where 7 players had 3 or more hits in a 9-inning game. Dan Uggla, first player since 1900 to have a season batting average below 200 and a 15-game hit streak, which is now up to 16. And Jason Kipnis, rookie Indian, first one since 1920 with a walk-off RBI for his first major league hit.
That'd be quite a memory.
Yeah.
Start off your career like that.
He played in that Futures game as part of the All-Star weekend in Phoenix and left the Futures game and went to the big club in Cleveland.
That'll work.
That'll work. Then you get a game-winning RBI. You get noticed even a little more. Lee over at first base. Reynolds 0 for 2. He is struck out and grounded out.
Reynolds 1 for 1 lifetime against Camp. The biggest numbers would be Guerrero, 7 for 12.
Marks the only Oriole who's not contributed via a hit or a run scored in the ball game. 2-strike count. Sean Camp. And Reynolds goes after one. I mean, really goes after one.
Let's take a look at his sidearm breaking ball. 0-2, a late breaker. Starts off the outside corner and just continues to bite away.
There is the first out of the inning, and here is Reimold. Nolan Reimold, home run, his 6th, leading off the 4th inning. There's a strike taken, and he really clocked it.
Yeah, wasted no time. Bell tie down the middle of the plate. 2nd home run in his last 8 games for Nolan Reimold to get, there's no doubt about it, to the 2nd deck or off the 2nd deck.
He takes that to left field, and that's going to get by Patterson. It'll go all the way to the wall, and he's going to chase it down. Lee will make the turn. He will come to the plate. Here's the throw, and not in time. An RBI double for Reimold. And the Orioles get the run right back again as they make it 8-4.
Yeah, low screamer off the bat of Nolan Reimold. One hands the ball. I think it was a play that Patterson he should have made. One-handed bullet right there. He just misses it. Derek Lee puts on the brakes and then restarts. Make it all the way around.
Well, Reimold having himself tonight. There he goes into second base. He's got 2 RBIs in the ball game, and the Orioles have 11 hits. 8 runs on 11 hits in the game. And Camp's pitch is up high as Andino showed bunt, drawing McDonald in from 3rd.
The crowd here still buzzing.
What an offensive game. Reimold's got 18 RBIs on the season in the 35 games played. Robert Andino. Camp comes inside to him, runner at second base, and 1 out.
It's the type of game that the Orioles need. They lost their last 7 on the road, have one of those big offensive explosions, which they do seem to have with Arrieta on the mound.
The Orioles in the 7 games they've lost on the road consecutively were averaging only 3.5 runs a game. They've got 8 already in this one. Andino on the swing and a miss, 2-1. Moreau, by the way, in the 3 home runs, that's the most he's ever given up in a ball game. 3rd time that he has done that. Last time was in 2009 against Boston. as the Orioles got 3 off the starter.
Wasn't his birthday, was it?
I hope not. As if he.
I'd be asking for that day off.
Yes. That's going to be a base hit into left center field. That may split the gap, and it does, all the way to the wall. Andino's got the play in front of him. He'll go in with an RBI double, and it is a 9-4 lead for the Orioles. Back-to-back doubles, Reimold and Andino.
The 2-1 pitch from Camp. He crosses Molina up. This shows you how it's going for the Blue Jays tonight. It's supposed to be a breaking ball. Right down the middle of the plate. Andino all over it.
Oh, Rabbit Andino joins the list. His 12th RBI, 9th double. He's on at second base, still only 1 away. And Hardy, 2 home runs, number 15 and 16, 3 RBIs, 9 runs on 12 hits for the O's. And that'll be taken away. Time now for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. Hardy's committed just 2 errors, 71 games at short, the fewest in the majors. And that gets away down to third base. Andino makes a turn. He'll stay. Molina didn't know where the ball had gone. Looked like he got crossed up again.
Yeah, I'm just not sure the way he went after this pitch. Like, it's been a long night back here already. And we saw the cross up on the Andino base hit. Watch this pitch. He is not sure what is coming. Like I say, you don't chase the breaking ball.
If he charged with a pass ball, the infield moves in with a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Hardy. You kidding me? Deep left center field, carrying, but not far enough for his third, but it is far enough for an RBI and a sac fly. A 4 RBI game for J.J. Hardy, and it is 10-4.
Again, that wild pitch pass ball gets another runner in scoring position. Hardy just misses number 3. A lot of smiles in that dugout. Just missed.
He's getting it done. And Hardy, the second out recorded, but it's a quality at bat as he gets it in. And here is Nick Markakis.
Yeah, he's had that groove swing out towards left field. Even first time up, he flew out to left.
J.J. Hardy gets his second 4 RBI game of the season. Nick Markakis drawn a walk and scored 0 for 2. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count from Camp. So a 3-run inning. And Markakis will take that for a called strike. Orioles with 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and 3 more put on the board in the fifth. Watches that one away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's what I kind of find ironic. Remember they had that article about supposedly the Yankees were upset that the Blue Jays were giving signs or stealing their signs. So far the Blue Jay catcher Molina is not sure what's coming with his own set of signs.
Yes. And Markakis has got a base hit out of the reach of Hill at second. So Markakis on with a single. A 13-hit attack for the Orioles. And we're only in the 5th inning.
Yeah, 10 runs, 13 hits. And it just became nighttime.
Yes. And John Farrell's going to make his way to the mound again as Camp will end his night, and not a very successful one. So the Orioles absolutely piling it on here in this ball game. We'll see their third Toronto pitcher with Markakis on. The Orioles offense in this ball game that's now put up 10 runs, 13 hits, and has forced another pitcher out of the pen.
Yeah, Casey Jansen will come out of the bullpen. 31st game of the year, 3-0 record, ERA real good, 3.14, 28 innings, 28 hits, 9 walks, 27 strikeouts.
Adam Jones will go after the first pitch from him and fouls it off. Runner on at first. Markakis, 2 down. Adam Jones, a single, stolen base. He is 1 for 3 tonight. Jansen with the 0-1 delivery and a fastball that will come inside. Jones is 3 for 8 off Casey Jansen with a home run.
He's a converted starter. First came up to the big leagues with the Blue Jays back in 06. 6-10 and 18 starts. Been a reliever, often injured over the years.
1-1 delivery. That's going to be to center field, and that's going to be a base hit. Snyder will hold Markakis, and a 2 for 4 night for Jones. As with 2 down, the Orioles keep it going, 2 on.
It just seems like ever since the first inning, it went down in order. Since then, it has been some kind of barrage, and everybody has been involved. I guess, but so far, with, like you said, the exception of Mark Reynolds.
Yeah, the Orioles up and down the lineup, either a hit or a run scored.
Well, if Reynolds didn't make any outs, it'd still be the second inning.
Well, true. So I guess
somebody's got to
do it
before this is over. Somebody's going to have to make a few outs.
2 down. Here's Vlad. He puts it in the air to right. Thames will move in, and he's got it. The Orioles, though, will send 8 to the plate in the 5th inning. They pick up 3 more runs. Hardy contributing 1 of those with a sac fly, and it is 10-9 runs or fewer. First double-digit games in 59 games for the Orioles here in Toronto. Buck Showalter still is going to pace a little bit because the way this game has gone, you get a feeling there are never enough. Yeah, Reynolds had a home run, 2 RBIs, part of the pack.
Yeah, they've scored 4 runs of their own the last 2 innings.
Hardy with a big 4 RBI night, and we are only going to the bottom half of the 5th. Eric Thames up. He has walked and struck out. Arrieta, what he wants to do now is get some outs. He's thrown 87 pitches in the game and surrendered 4 runs on 5 hits. He's had a 4-run lead twice and now a 6-run lead.
Have to go back and recalculate those run support numbers. And now the Orioles have scored 9 or more runs now 7 times on the year, and 5 of those have come in Arrieta's starts.
0-2 delivery towards first. Lee diving. Arrieta's got to get there, and he makes sure he touches the bag. Thames is retired.
Nice play. You can see Arrieta read his lips. Nice play, Derek. That first hitter out. It's been hard to do. Almost destined for that hole in right field. Nice accurate flip close play at first. Looks like they just get him.
His foot got down before the runners did. Here's John McDonald. As the Jays are without Jose Bautista, he got hit by a pitch in the head by Arrieta in the 3rd inning and had to come out of the ball game. McDonald came on to run for him and stayed in the game to play at 3rd. And a 2-strike count. Arrieta ahead 0-2. McDonald in his 55th game, hitting at .223. A couple of home runs, 16 RBIs for McDonald. And he'll foul that one back. McDonald's made 34 starts. 15 of those have come at 3rd base. And he's hit .370 over his last 9 ball games. So obviously a real slow start for John at .223 in the year. And that pitch is away. Ball and 2 strikes. Arrieta's got to get through the inning so he can be the pitcher of record. You really don't want to leave a game
no.
ahead by 6 and not be the pitcher of record.
You don't even want him to be getting anybody up.
No.
You don't even want to plant that seed. And like I said, it's been a long journey to try to get number 10 for Arrieta.
Head on the count here, ball and 2 strikes. Jake's last win against Pittsburgh on June 20, and then 4 consecutive tries for that number 10. Lost to Atlanta, lost to Boston, non-decision against Cleveland, and then a loser in the last outing against the Red Sox. And to short, Hardy. 2 down. Now, we talked about home runs being hit. This ballpark, you see, is on the list at 4 in most home runs, combined home runs in the American League. The Rangers ballpark, then Camden Yards, then Yankee Stadium, and then the Rogers Center, with 5 of them having been hit in the ball game tonight here in Toronto.
Yeah, that won't help those numbers. Is that 3 of the top 4? American League East.
The official announcement on Bautista came out for precautionary reasons, and it'll be a day-to-day as they will examine, see if there are any effects that indicate any concussion on the pitch he took to the head from Arrieta. And a 2-0 count of Adam Lynn. Lynn with a home run, his 19th in the 3rd inning. 6 home run against the Orioles on the year. 59 runs batted in, and Lynn will take it up high. Arrieta really wants no part of him in the 3-0 count.
This is when you get that 6-run lead. You go, here, let's see if you can do it again. And if he does it again, you tip your hat.
3-0 delivery, and Lynn got nothing to swing at. Second walk surrendered by Arrieta. Trouble with that is you got Encarnacion coming up.
That pitch counted an even 100, 60% strikes, 60 strikes, 40 balls.
Encarnacion has taken an 0 for 2 in the game. Club leader in doubles. He's got 23. 2 down and a runner on, and he'll take the pitch for a strike. Encarnacion with a .259 average overall. No lead at first base for Lynn, and an inside corner strike that he didn't like.
One thing that's really helped him tonight is the percentage of curveballs for strikes. Been around that zone most of the night. It's what you can really rely on when he gets in trouble.
Gary Darling got the little stare from Encarnacion after the pitch. Goes after that one, and he hit him. Lee will.
That's when you're having a good year.
Yeah, pick it up and tag the bag. Is he all right? I think it hit him. It sure sounded like it. And probably off the foot. See, he has no idea where it is. Went right off his foot. It looks like he is all right. Matt Wieters will foul it back. Jake Arrieta on the bench. That right foot ankle.
Feels a whole lot better now that you get the 5th inning in the books.
Fair ball down to first base. Lynn will play it. Wieters retired. 1 away in the top of the 6th inning. Casey Jansen on. The Orioles will get Birkin in the pen, as the hitters have dominated this ball game.
I think that might be it for Arrieta.
Here's Lee, and a big cut and a big night. 2 RBI double first time up, RBI single, second time up, singled and scored, third time up.
Yeah, average got to 245 with a 3-hit night.
0-1 delivery will be fouled off. So Jansen trying to give him a little help here. First game of the series. You hate going very deep into your bullpen. Already the third pitcher used. And that'll be away as Jansen did a 360 coming off the mound. Morrow had some troubles on the mound, that landing spot, and Jansen just did.
It looked like he was trying to overthrow a fastball to Derek Lee. Sometimes that happens.
One ball, 2-strike delivery. And got him. Strike zone may get a little bigger here. And there are 2 down.
Let's take a look at this breaking ball from Casey Jansen. It's framed by Molina. I guess he was probably happy to catch a pitch he called.
Jansen's got 2 down, nobody on. Here's Reynolds. Reynolds 1 for 2 off Jansen. Orioles retired in order in the first inning and not since. They have scored in the last 4 innings. That one in the air to center field. Snyder going back at the wall. That's going to be a base hit. Bounces off Snyder. Reynolds will go into second base with a double. So he's on the hit parade. Now everybody's in it. A 2-bagger with 2 down.
A slider, 1 pitch right in the middle of the plate. Tries to take a little bit off it. Snyder will try to pin it against a wall. So they'll end up with their 15th hit.
19.
Yeah.
Wow. Mark Reynolds with 2 down gets on. Reimold another chance at an RBI. He has 2 already, a homer and a double, with an RBI in each occasion. And he has been called out on strikes. So Jansen can't get the 1, 2, 3 inning.
Yeah, 5 in the lineup already have 2 hits.
And the breaking ball is in for a strike. Really amazing offensive night for the Orioles, who we noted at the top have had 5 quality starts but have not had the offensive numbers to go with it. Now tonight looks like Arrieta's only going to work 5 innings, but they've had the offense. Hill will play the big hopper, get it over first base. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 10-4 O's. Jason Birkin.
Yeah, he'll come out of the Oriole bullpen in this 10-5 game. In the last homestand, pitched 2 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, and a walk on that long homestand. He worked a third of an inning in that latest Angel series. 30th appearance on the year, 1-2 record. ERA about 5.5. He gave that fastball slider combination. When he's right, fastball 93-95, very sneaky. You can see the strikeouts, more strikeouts than innings pitched, just 13 walks. Very valuable reliever who can eat up some innings in the middle of the ball game.
So Arrieta, 4 runs, 5 hits over 5 innings. He walked 2, struck out 4, gave up 2 home runs, chance to be the winner and get his 10th win of the year. Ground ball into right field, base hit. Birkin's first pitch to Travis Snyder's a single. There's a long way to go in this ball game.
Yeah, neither side's going to slow down. I don't think either side will stop running. The game kind of remains the same. I mean, you look at it, you look at that scoreboard like it's 6-0.
Yep.
In the 6th.
Here is Aaron Hill, already 2 for 2 with a homer and a single, his 5th home run of the year. That'll be 6 hits on the board for Toronto. And Birkin's pitch will miss. Hill is 2 for 14 lifetime off the Oriole right-handed reliever.
That's that slider, I'm sure. Big out pitch for Birkin.
Look over to first. And the pitch is in there for a strike. Orioles beginning what will be a very long road trip. 10 games, 3 cities. Doubleheader coming up in New York, part of a 4-game set. Then on to Kansas City. So 3 in Toronto, 4 in New York, 3 in Kansas City. 1-1 delivery. That's going to miss inside. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Showalter.
He feels okay, but he's not relaxed.
He's not relaxed, no. 2-1 the count. There's another one of those towering pop-ups in the infield. Shortstop Hardy. And there's one away. Take a look at our minor league report, brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. Jacob Pettit, you see the numbers since promotion to Frederick at A-ball. 42nd round pick in 2010. Left-hander, 25 years old, out of Orting, Washington. Went to Western Oregon State College. .51 ERA. Hello.
That'll work.
Yeah. We'll get some guys out. That's going to be off the glove and a base hit into left field. Bobbled. Not long enough for runners to move. Raimo will get it in. 2 singles in the 6th inning. 2 on, 1 down.
Take a look. Fastball down and out over the plate. Pretty good pitch. Patterson just slaps it into left.
So the hits just keep on coming.
And now, what, 22 hits combined in the game, 14 runs.
And here's Jose Molina. Well, Molina may only have a couple of home runs. He is a threat. He's got power. Molina has struck out twice. That came, of course, against Arrieta. Now Birkin 2 on, 1 down, and Molina will take a strike on the outside corner. Well, in this kind of ball game, you're not going to have enough home runs because a couple of swings of the bat, the way the game's going, producing multiple runs. That will miss down low.
And Molina had 6 home runs last year for the Blue Jays.
He is 1 for 5 off Birkin. Runners off first and second. And Molina with a big cut. He'll miss that one. 1 and 2.
Yeah, best fastball of the night for Birkin, 94. He had it all cranked up.
Here's the 1-2 delivery to him, and that'll be in the air to right field. Nick Markakis. Markakis has it. Tagging Snyder. He'll go over to third. Throw will come into second. There are 2 down. We're going to take you back in time. 2 innings ago. J.J. Hardy, 2 errors, 71 games. We showed you that. The rest of the story. The only player to start 100+ games at short with 15 home runs and 5 errors or fewer is Cal Ripken, 1990. Hardy, both at the plate and in the field, getting it done. Here's Janel Escobar. Escobar, 2 singles, run scored, and is grounded out. First and third, 2 down. Close to the synthetic and cotton uniform.
Let's take a look at his pitch. Target is in. That 2-seamer runs right in about belt high. Moving Escobar's feet.
Escobar hitting .390 this month. Second highest batting average in the league. Gets away. Runner's going to move up. Bounced. It is a wild pitch charge. That does put runners in, 2 of them now in scoring position.
Yes, he tries to overthrow this fastball just off the heel of Weeder's glove and just rolls far enough away. Second and third, 2 outs.
Escobar 2 for 5 with a home run, lifetime off Birkin. 2-0 count, 2 down. Good pitch at the outside corner with that. 2-1.
Yeah, 94. Escobar just now 28 years of age. Just keeps getting better.
Here's the 2-1 delivery. 3-1.
You know he will take a walk.
Eric Thames waiting on deck, the number 2 hitter. Snyder and Patterson with their leads, and they're loaded. I say again, mercy.
Now we just keep giving him chances.
A ball game with a mind of its own. Snyder at third had a single. Patterson a single at second. The walk to Escobar. And the sacks are full. Eric Thames 0 for 2 and a walk. 2 down. Going after the first one and missing.
Yeah, no working the count. Get the first thing straight and let it fly.
2 for 3 with the bases loaded for the rookie in his third professional season. And obviously a very big at bat. And caught by Lee. Hit it hard, but right at him. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 3 are left on base. It remains 10-4 O's. Warehouse. It'll honor, of course, Mike Bordick, the Herb Armstrong Award recipient, Richie Van Sells. Tickets are $50. VIP tickets tables also available. Call the Oriole Advocates 410-247-2703, or you can go to OriolesReach.com. That's for August 12th, the Hall of Fame luncheon, where there'll be the induction of Mike Bordick and Richie Van Sells. Ought to be a great luncheon. Will Ledesma on to pitch.
Well, his career numbers: 187 games, 15-25, 10 games under, ERA about 5.5. He's one of those journeyman left-handers. He's been around playing for Pace since 1998. He will come out of the Blue Jay bullpen second time around with the Blue Jays. Pitched with the Pirates last year.
He will start out against Andino. Robert Andino, a double, a single, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. And a strike taken. Casey Jansen unscathed in an inning and a third, giving up 2 hits, had a strikeout. Camp an inning and a third, 3 runs on 4 hits. Moreau, the starter, 7 runs, 6 earned, 9 hits over 3 1/3 innings. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Andino, everybody's been in it. First time since May 26 against Kansas City. Everyone in the lineup's had at least 1 hit. There are 15 total on the board for the Orioles. 1-2. 6 inning totals: 10-15 and 1 for the O's, 4-7 and 1 for Toronto. Orioles have 1 unearned run. Very big night for the offense. 1-2. Ledesma will get the strikeout.
I'll get it down in a good spot. Got ahead. Late breaking slider from Ledesma into the dirt. Try to throw it at the back leg of that right-hander. Pretty effective pitch for Ledesma. Originally signed by the Red Sox back in April of '98.
Hardy, the 2-homer ball game. And outside for a ball. Hardy against the left-handers this year, 262. 3 of his 16 home runs have been hit against left-handers.
He's just in such a good groove. He's got a chance to hit another one. He gets something on the inside part of the plate.
He is smacking the baseball.
Of course, if Ledesma's been paying any attention down the bullpen, probably has no idea or no thought of coming to the inside part of the plate.
2-0 delivery. Ledesma soft toss that's going to miss inside, 3-0. So he was watching. He's thrown nothing for Hardy to hit. Markakis waiting on deck.
2-0 changeup.
And we'll get it in for a strike. 3-1 to J.J. Hardy on the fastball. Off the end of the bat. So he gets the full count, 3-2.
Yeah, up and out over the plate, up middle of the plate. Well rocketed, first multi-home run game since back in '08 for J.J. Hardy.
2, no doubt about it. Blast to left field.
3-2 delivery to him, and Hardy will foul it away again. Reynolds has had multi-homer games this year on 3 separate occasions. Nolan Reimold, multi-homer game against Kansas City, and now Hardy. So 5 total multi-homer games this year by singular players for the Orioles. First time for Hardy. 3-2 delivery, and got him. Ledesma raring back.
They used a slider to get in. This time it's the up middle fastball at 94. Reaching back for a little extra for J.J. Hardy.
Nick Markakis singled his last time up. He drew a walk in the 3rd inning and scored. The only walk issued to the Orioles came off Moreau. The Orioles came into this game without having a walk in 19 2/3 innings, and finally broke that stretch in the 3rd inning with the Markakis walk. Here's the 0-1 delivery by Ledesma, and the pitch will be inside.
Well, they've done it with a 15-hit attack tonight. It's the only walk.
Orioles ranked 13th in the league in free passes. Only Minnesota has fewer. Markakis off the fist, shallow center. Snyder will have time, and he's gone. A 1-2-3 inning, the first since the first inning. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight, drink responsibly.
Setting the stage with the home run in the 3rd and the 4th inning.
So now up to the Oriole bullpen just to keep the lead, get the outs. Bottom of the 7th inning. First ball hitting John McDonald. Lee. One away. Join Orioles Reach Saturday, August 20. The American Red Cross, University of Maryland Medical Center are hosting the 2nd blood drive of the season, 8 to 4 at Grill 54 at Camden Yards. Participants get an Orioles pint glass plus a pair of tickets to an upcoming game. Appointments are required, so call 1-800-RED-CROSS. And if you give blood, summertime's always a tough time at the blood bank, so if you can, please do so. Here is Lind. 3-run homer in the 3rd inning made it a 4-3 game at the time. The Orioles lead cut to 1. He has also walked and flied out. 10 runs, 15 hits for the Orioles, 4 runs, 7 hits for Toronto. That'll be in the seats on the foul ball by Lind. Be right back here tomorrow night. Game 2 of the 3-game set. Alfredo Simon 2 and 3. Ricky Romero, a left-hander, 7 and 9. Brad Bergeson and Carlos Villanueva will be making the starts in the final game of the series. Foul back. Orioles will go to New York for the Friday night game, a day-night doubleheader on Saturday. Won't that be fun? And then followed by a day game on Sunday, which will even be funner.
Fun, funner, and funst.
Fun, funner, and funnest.
Funst.
Here. Trying to figure out how long we're going to be in New York, how many hours, and how many hours will be spent at the ballpark. Yep. It'll be at least half of them. But it's always fun. Day-night doubleheaders allow you 2.5 hours between games, probably, which time you have absolutely nothing to do and not enough time to do anything.
And you start thinking, I could go to Canada and back in this time.
That's right.
It's not going to happen.
Perfectly positioned is Hardy behind second base. Lind is retired, and there are 2 away. But we certainly don't want to deny the Yankees the opportunity for extra income. They'll be looking to spend a lot more with the trading deadline coming here at the end of the month. Tomorrow on our Open to our broadcast, we're going to put the GM hat right back on Flanny and talk about the deadline coming at the end, what it means, how GMs use it, what the difference is between the deadline that comes at the end of this month, where players don't have to go through waivers, and then any trades that come after where players do have to go through waivers and how much that matters. Flandy's going to give us the entire insight. What?
I will tell you most of what I know.
Here's the 1-1 delivery, and a swung on a missed. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
In your scathing expose.
Scathing.
On the gamemanship of the wire. The waiver wire.
Gamemanship of the waiver wire. See?
And the phone calls. Yes, they're always interesting.
Already.
Yeah.
Titillating comments leading you to want to set your VCR.
Or your Betamax.
Well, I got my 8-track ready to go.
8-track. Oh, keyed up.
A 2 ball, 2 strike count. Aaron Encarnacion has an 0 for 3 in the ball game. 2-2 delivery to him. Not 0 for anymore. DH gets a 2-out single here in the 7th inning. Jason Birkin working in his second full inning for Arrieta. Encarnacion on the DH will be followed by center fielder Travis Snyder. Snyder a 1 for 3 with a single last time up and was stranded. Seven have been left on by Toronto, including the bases loaded chance in the 6th inning. And that will be outside for a ball. 7 have been left on by the Orioles, even though they have scored 10 runs in the game. Snyder hitting at .235. And Birkin tails one away from him in a 1-1 count. Orioles coming into the game, the bullpen ranking 12th in ERA, still more home runs, 55, than any other bullpen has surrendered this season. They're not going to hold the runner here with a lefty up. It's foul back. 1-2. Encarnacion at first base. With a 10-4 lead, this is one of those situations, even in a game like this, where the unwritten rule is you don't run.
Yeah, that rule is, somewhat been muddied, I guess, over the years now with the offensive explosion in baseball. So I'm not sure where that line is.
And that is a foul ball. Nice one-hop grab by a fan.
I do think the game is going back that way, though. We talked a lot about the offensive numbers on the decline, home runs on the decline. Pitching seems to be getting better year to year. We also talked about the diminishing intentional walks over the years, I think, which goes hand in hand with the declining offense.
It's a very interesting article we were looking at today regarding intentional passes. Pitch is going to be up high. They've all but disappeared from the game. Intentional walks, even with the likes of Bautista and Albert Pujols, who you would think would get the most of them, are virtually non-existent. Bautista had 2 intentional walks last year. 2. He's on pace for 19 this year. Fouled away, and not Albert Pujols is right there in that same category, and that is compared to Barry Bonds in 2004. 162 regular season games, 120 intentional free passes. That's unbelievable that it would have dropped that much to these home run hitters in that short a period. And the 2-2 got him. When we come back, we'll take a look at those numbers for you. Birkin gets his first strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. Orioles up by 6. Intentional walks. It's unbelievable.
Now the decline. Matter of fact, took a look. Buck Showalter this afternoon. The decline of the intentional walk. He said, for him, it's mostly who's hitting behind that guy you're going to be intentionally walking.
Adam Jones leading it off, 2 for 4.
I look back some other years. I mean, the American League record, like I said, National League record, 120 intentional walks by Bonds in 04.
American League, the record is shared by former Blue Jay John Olerud, who had 33 in '93, and Ted Williams, who had 33 in 1957. I think when he was 38 years old.
Jones in the air to right field. Got a lot of it. Thames back, and he's got it. One away in the 8th. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. This is going to be a tough one. You got Hardy with a couple of home runs and 4 RBIs. Lee's got 3 RBIs and a 3-for-4 ball game. And Nolan Reimold, he's got a home run, 2 RBIs, a double, and a couple of runs scored. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 518-62. Vladimir Guerrero back off the DL. First pitch he saw, base hit, second inning, and he scored 1-4. The story we were referring to is on fangraphs.com regarding the intentional walks. 1-0 delivery to second base on the fly. Will's got it. It also refers to a number of baseball statistics, and obviously baseball statistics have become ever more important as upper level management relies on them. The Red Sox going so far as to hire Bill James as part of their front office, one of the leading numbers guys. And the numbers have always said intentional walks do not pay off for the team doing it, that they will result in more runs, more opportunities for opponents. It's never been a good idea. But a lot of old time, if you will, baseball people didn't want to hear any of that stuff and wouldn't either believe it or abide by it. But now that these stats are issued on a daily basis in front offices, the front offices are going, don't walk anybody intentionally because it's going to cost us.
Yeah, you go through the math and you do certainly what you think is best. I mean, a lot of it falls back on the managers that would never say, you know, you're never going to let Barry Bonds beat you. You're just not going to let the best player on the opposition club beat you. And I think some of that thinking has softened, that they're saying, you know, if he hits 300, he still makes 7 out of 10 outs.
2-0 delivery on the way. I always say it was one of the all-time great lessons. The late great Chuck Tanner, manager, Pittsburgh a long time. Chuck, when I first started in the business, said, "Kid, come here," and he took me to the BP batting cage and he said, "I want you to count the number of hits that they get in batting practice." And believe it or not, I did that with Jim Presley this year, the Orioles hitting coach, just for the fun of it, at Camden Yards one day. It's not as many as you'd think.
Yeah.
There are a lot of outs recorded in batting practice. And Jim said, you know, I never did this before, but we counted a whole group in their rounds, and it was about the same as you get in the game.
And when you consider batting practice, you're throwing one pitch,
yep,
and the batting practice pitcher's trying to throw at the same speed every time.
And hit the bat.
Right. And
Jim,
not throw a ball.
No, Jim was like, wow.
I mean, I always thought it was great with the American League, you know, when they didn't have interleague play, and then pitchers never got to swing the bat or be in the batter's box, to go in there and try to hit and see how tough it is. American League pitchers sometimes can give the hitters just too much credit because they're never on offense.
It is still the hardest thing to do in sports. Square up the round bat on the round ball and hit it hard. Lee's done that tonight with a double, 2 singles, 3 RBIs, a run scored. He has also struck out. Wieters on with the Orioles' second walk of the ball game. Ledesma's first, coming with 2 down in the top of the 8th inning. And Lee will take it. Molina blocks it, holding the runner at first base. Lee's hit 260 off the lefties, 230 off righties. Derek up to 244, 37 RBIs. Wieters at first. Ooh. In the air to left center field. Snyder going back at the wall, and goodbye. Home run. Another one. A 2 RBI homer for Lee. A 5 RBI ball game for the Orioles first baseman, and it is 12-4.
Another good pass by an Oriole offensive player. 11th home run of the year for Derek Lee. 1-1 pitch from Ledesma. Low and in. And then just the question of how far this ball was going to carry. And just far enough to get it over the fence.
What a night for the Orioles offense. 12 runs on 16 hits in the ball game and 4 home runs. And none of them have had a question mark around them when they were hit. Here's Reynolds. He'll take the pitch down low, 1-1. For Lee, RBI high this season with 5 of them. And the pitch is going to be inside. Ledesma keeping the inning going with the walk to Wieters, who would come in to score ahead of Lee. Two-one delivery. Reynolds a double, 1 for 4, a couple of strikeouts, and he is grounded out. Derek Lee has had as many as 7 RBIs in a ball game, doing it in 09 against Milwaukee. That'll be under the feet. Skips away in a 3-ball 2-strike count. Well, the Orioles really mashing it here tonight against everybody except Casey Janssen of the 4 Toronto pitchers. 3-2 delivery, and he walked him. So 2 walks in the inning, and all of this coming with 2 down.
They retired the first 2 hitters. 4 home runs tonight, ties a season high.
And a long walking night for the Toronto skipper. John Farrell, the only good inning was the first one. And the Orioles have been retired 1, 2, 3 in the first, and then in the 7th inning. But by the 7th inning, this ball game was pretty much out of reach. 12-4 in the top of the 8th inning. So Nolan Reimold will try and add to it. Reimold's got a home run, his 6th of the year, a double, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, 2 for 4.
Looks like he's looking to square up one more. I mean, that's the thing when these hitters have a few hits in their books already. Reimold with a couple of hits, a double, and a home run. They're looking for one more good pass.
Reimold has hit .262 off left-handers, about 42 points higher than against righties. He's had 4 home runs, 4 of his 6 off lefties. Two-0 count. Reynolds not being held at first base. Ledesma will get the strike call. 2-1. 17,477 the announced attendance tonight. 17,477. They have not had a lot to cheer about. Orioles had the early 2-0 lead, then 4-0. That'll be in the air to right field. Thames is over, and he's got it. But the Orioles will add a couple more coming on the Derek Lee home run number 11 on the season, and the Orioles now lead 12-4. Lead in this ball game. Follow the Orioles with MLB.com at Bat 2011 app, iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Scores, highlights, pitch-by-pitch tracking, and more. Check in on Orioles home games for the chance to win prizes, including upgraded seats. Text at Bat 31826 or go to Orioles.com. Aaron Hill, Jason Birkin working in relief, 3rd inning of work here. Hill, a home run, his 5th. He has also singled, and he has popped out. And will take the pitch inside. A 2-0 count from Birkin. Jake Arrieta leaving the ball game with what is officially reported as a right foot contusion. X-rays taken, and they were negative after he got hit on the foot in that 5th inning. And he had a right center field. Nick Markakis will retire. 1 down, 8th inning.
risk up of having the sleeper hold on the Blue Jay offense over the last couple of innings. They've gotten their hits, but just kind of picking the outs off the board.
Prior to tonight, the Orioles' high in runs in a ball game was 11. That was way back in April. 19 against Minnesota. 12 on the board tonight. 16 hits is not a high for the year. They've had a ball game in which they picked up 20 hits in a game. That was against Seattle. That was a 13-inning ball game, though. Ooh-ah. Nice play. Patterson with that great speed.
We've had some
great
kick saves by the pitchers, and they're well directed. This one directed to Reynolds at third base. Early one by Jake Arrieta right to first base, and just I don't know if I've quite seen one kick down on like that. That was pretty good.
Arrieta kicked his.
You can see that.
Lead by Showalter smiling over there. Jason Bergen kicked his down.
Yeah, that was very unusual.
There could be a number of NHL scouts here tomorrow night taking a look at goaltending possibilities. Here's Jose Molina with 2 down, nobody on in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
And the hardest thing most times is to find out where the ball is going. We got hit by so many line drives one year that Ray Miller, the next spring training, he would stand us on the mound and bounce the ball off the rubber behind us, and we'd have to go find it like it was off a body part. But there's no better feeling as a pitcher really to deflect one to an infielder and he gets the hitter out. There's nothing better, and there's nothing worse than taking one off the body and having to look at the smirk on the runner's face at first base after he gets the hit.
2 down, nobody on in the 8th inning. Solid job, as Mike said, by Birkin coming on for Arrieta. Whether Arrieta could have continued or not, not sure, but probably precautionary wise, with the Orioles having the lead at that point, pretty good one. Better to get him out of the ball game. This is going to be a high for Birkin in innings thrown. His season high was 2 1/3. This is the 3rd inning of work for him. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, doing a nice job, and we knew they're a little bit short tonight with Mike Gonzalez serving the first game of his suspension. Also, Worrell not on the roster with Vladimir Guerrero being activated.
2-2 to Molina. That's going to be a base hit. So Molina on with his first hit, a single in the 8th with 2 down. And that'll turn it over to the top of the order. Escobar 2 for 3, 2 singles. He's also walked in the game and has scored a run. Hendrickson, the left-hander in the bullpen for the Orioles. Escobar's continued his big numbers against the Orioles, hitting .333 coming in. He's now got 7 RBIs against the Orioles this year. Right at Jones, an atom ball, and he's got no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've completed 8 in Toronto, and it's 12-4 O's. Set up, beautiful at night, and a gorgeous evening here in Toronto. Frank Francisco will come on in the 9th.
Yeah, 34th game of the year, 1-4 record for the right-handed reliever. 28 innings at work, 34 hits. Pretty good strikeouts to innings pitched. 35 strikeouts for Frank Francisco out of this Blue Jay bullpen. Last worked a couple of days ago against Texas, pitched an inning. Struck out all 3 he faced, so here to kind of finish this one off and give them any sort of hope for the 9th. The year has been really tough on right-handers, just hitting .171. That's 7 for 41. Lefties, different story, hitting .346 against Frank Francisco.
Andino will face him. Andino, a single double, 2 runs scored, RBI. He is 2 for 4 in the game. Now hitting a .264 and has 12 runs batted in. Ledesma out of there, 2 runs on 1 hit. He walked 2 and struck out 2 in the 2 innings he worked. Long run and a nice play made. Thames had a long way to go. Got into foul territory and got the right angle. And Andino's retired.
Yeah, nice running play, long running play. Running out of space. A lot of the right fielders you'll see here in Toronto will kind of run right along that wall and down the line. I know Markakis is pretty good at it here also.
One down in the ninth inning. Here's Hardy. Inside to him for a ball. RBI home run, number 15 in the third. 2 RBI home run, number 16 in the fourth. RBI sac fly in the fifth.
And one more chance to lean back.
No reason not to here.
2-0 count. I said 4 RBIs already in the book. Been a real good night.
Never had a 3-homer game, and not going to have one tonight. Escobar in the dirt. Nice pick. Lynn with a really good pick right there. For every Orioles walk this season, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to the Living Classrooms Foundation. 286 walks, $14,300. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Nick Markakis, a single in the fifth inning, walk and scored in the third, and he'll take it outside. There are now 102 players coming into tonight's action who have had 10 or more home runs. The Orioles have 6 on the ball club that have had 10 or more. They are tied for second in that department. The lead goes to the Cincinnati Reds in the majors. They've got 7 players with 10 or more homers. The Orioles, the Rockies, the Yankees, and the Rangers all have 6 players with 10 or more. Orioles adding to their major league lead since June 1 in most home runs hit in the majors since that date, with the 4 that they have put up tonight. And a 2-ball 1-strike count to Markakis. That'll go to short. Escobar got him. Francisco comes on and retires the side in order. We go to the bottom of the ninth. The Orioles 3 outs away in Toronto from a win in the opener.
Mark started his career way back with the Blue Jays big league level, 2002. This year 6 innings, 8 hits along the way out of the bullpen. I'll try to get the final 3 outs in this 12-4 game.
Jake Arrieta awaits as his chance for win number 10. Looks pretty good right now. 5th time he's tried to get there. The last Oriole to have his 10th win in the month of July was Eric Bedard back in 07. And the Orioles did not have a pitcher get his 10th win last year until September 11, when Jeremy Guthrie got it. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that will be fought off. Eric Thames 0 for 3 and a walk. Orioles trying to win an 0 for 7 on the road with a victory in this game. Keep in mind they had not won here in Toronto until the last game they played here on June 16. They had lost 16 consecutive games here, and now they're trying to make it 2 in a row in Toronto. But Showalter, for one of the rare times this year, can actually sit and breathe. 2-2 delivery. Center field, Jones. Names retired. Let's update you in the voting to the AT&T Player of the Game. So far, JJ. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 51862. The results on the O's Extra post-game show. Brandon Moreau, the starter for Toronto, a tough outing on his birthday. 7 runs, 6 earned, 9 hits, 3 in the third. He's going to take his 5th loss. It'll end a 5-game win streak and a 7-game set in which he had not lost a ball game.
Not lost since June 11th, just about August.
That will miss. 1 ball, 1 strike count. John McDonald. McDonald 2 at bats, 0 for 2. He took the place of Jose Bautista, who was hit in the head by an Arrieta pitch in the 3rd inning. Reynolds 2 down. Bautista will be day to day. We'll see if he is able to play tomorrow. Shot a pitch that caught him right on the side of the head, fortunately on the helmet. And Arrieta will be a bit day to day after he took the hit on the foot on a ground ball. Here's Adam Lynn. Home run number 19 in the ball game. 2 down, nobody on in the bottom of the 9th inning. Arrieta will be 10 and 7. And the Orioles will win their 3rd game against Toronto in the 7 that have been played. And we'll have a chance to even up the season series. And just for the heck of it, let's finish the game by rattling my head one more time. What a night they've had. Gary Darling has not been hit at all. You see Patterson over there with Molina.
Great.
He's been protected tonight by the catchers. Usually the home plate umpire takes a couple of shots, but
it looks like his eyes are kind of fading out though too now. I think I'm going to call this with one eye.
2 ball, 1 strike count. We've talked about the umpires taking the inside slot this year in order to lessen the chance of concussions because the fewest foul balls come back from the inside slot. I asked Doug Harvey at the Hall of Fame weekend about that, and Doug said, I always umpired from the inside slot. Even when everybody else was standing directly behind the catcher, I always took the inside slot for that reason. Down to first, that'll be handled by Lee. It's a 1-2-3 inning, and the Orioles have won it. 12-4 is the final as the O's take game 1 of this 3-game set. Join us again tomorrow, game 2 against the Jays. Alfredo Simon against Ricky Romero. 6:30, Masson HD O's Extra kicks it off. Brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. Our game will be at